Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources.
New York Times Business. September 13, 1918 America, New York. House Democrats plan to tax the rich leaves vast fortunes unscathed. The House Ways and Means Committee's proposal to pay for trillions in social spending leaves wealth gains and inheritances largely alone. It focuses instead on a more traditional target: income. Senior House Democrats opted to be more mindful of moderate concerns in their party and focused on traditional ways of raising revenue.
Forex Live. September 13, 1913 America, New York. The U.S. and South Korea spoke on the semiconductor shortage. U.S. Trade Representative Thai and S. Korean Trade Minister Yo spoke. Topics included:
Global Economy. September 13, 1901 America, New York. Global house prices rise at fastest pace since 2005, report says. Market is on fire, thanks to low interest rates and shortage of properties.
BBC News Business. September 13, 1901 America, New York. Scrap COVID tests for most travelers, says industry. The government has choked off travel trade and 70% of firms plan redundancies, says APTA.
Daily FX Market News. September 13, 1900 America, New York. New Zealand dollar forecast, NZD, USD trades cautiously ahead of Q2 GDP data. The New Zealand dollar is largely unchanged after modest gains overnight. Traders are focusing in on Q2 GDP growth data set to cross the wires later this week.
The Library of Economics and Liberty. September 13, 1852 America, New York. The dreary 21st century. During the final 2 decades of the 20th century, readers of the financial press were treated to one positive news story after another. Tax reform, immigration reform, deregulation, free trade agreements, investment liberalization, the end of communism, welfare reform, etc., etc.
Forex Live. September 13, 1851 America, New York. Earthquake magnitude 6.1 felt in Tokyo, Japan. 3 out of 7 on the Japanese scale via USGS. Forex Live. September 13, 1842 America, New York. Oil. U.S. Gulf copping it again, this time Tropical Storm Nicholas. The U.S. oil industry is still struggling to recover from the damage from Hurricane Ida. Circa 40% of capacity is still compromised. Now a new storm is slowing efforts at recovery, at least this one does appear to be as intense as Ida.
New York Times Business. September 13, 1833 America, New York. How House Democrats plan to raise $2.9 trillion for a safety net. Details of the legislation show higher taxes for companies and the wealthy, but key elements differ from the Senate and White House proposals. A plan by House Democrats to fund President Biden's $3.5 trillion social policy bill includes tax increases on corporations and the rich.
Naked Capitalism. September 13, 1825 America, New York. Biden's speech on COVID vaccine mandates, annotated. A very close reading of Biden's speech on vaccine mandates, and the plan on which he has staked his presidency.
New York Times Business. September 13, 1824 America, New York. Fox buys TMZ from Warner Media. Fox already broadcasts TMZ programs on some of its cable channels. Harvey Levin will continue in his role as TMZ's managing editor.
Forex Live. September 13, 1816 America, New York. The CHF really ran lower with the weekend Swiss National Bank comments. I posted the remarks from Swiss National Bank's Vice President Fritz Zerbrugge on Sunday. European markets ran with it Monday, extending the losses for the Swissy.
Daily FX Market News. September 13, 1800 America, New York. U.S. dollar moves lower as U.S. federal budget deficit totals $171 billion in August. The federal government budget deficit widened by $171 billion in August as the fights over the debt ceiling and infrastructure rage on.
Forex Live. September 13, 1757 America, New York. Australian casino behemoth Crown to introduce vaccine mandate for staff, clients. Media here in Australia with the report that Crown Resorts is planning to introduce mandatory coronavirus vaccinations for its staff.
Global Economy. September 13, 1754 America, New York. First FT. Beijing to break up Ants Alipay. Beijing to force Alipay to create separate loans app. Blinken defends U.S. military's Afghanistan withdrawal. Libor replacement hits Wall Street leveraged loan market.
Forex Live. September 13, 1743 America New York, Norway PM has conceded election defeat. The Norwegian Prime Minister, Erna Solberg, has called the leader of the opposition party, Jonas Gahr, to concede election defeat. Forex Live. September 13, 1730 America New York, U.S. Senate Republicans threaten to block nominations to Treasury. The Wall Street Journal with the report here is the for, not very much at this stage, more. WSJ may be gated. Link to the journal while on U.S. politics.
New York Times Business. September 13, 1726 America New York, head of Paramount Pictures is ousted as ViacomCBS focuses on streaming. James N. Giannopoulos, or Jim G., as he is known in Hollywood, will be replaced by Brian Robbins, who oversees Nickelodeon. Brian Robbins with his wife, Tracy James, in 2019.
Wall Street Journal Markets. September 13, 1716 America New York. Biden will nominate Rostin Benham as CFTC chairman, White House says. The president plans to nominate Kristen Johnson and Christy Goldsmith Romero as commissioners at the derivatives regulator.
New York Times Business. September 13, 1715 America New York, Intuit to buy MailChimp for $12 billion. The deal is part of Intuit's effort to position itself as a one-stop shop for small and medium-sized businesses, at the MailChimp offices in 2016. The company is best known for its email marketing platform.
Forex Live. September 13, 1706 America New York, New Zealand house prices in August plus 27.5% Y and plus 2.5% meter per meter. Real Estate Institute of New Zealand, REINZ, data for median house prices in August 2021 REINZ comment. Forex Live. September 13, 1706 America New York, South Korea export and import prices, both surging. Data for August 2021 from SK shows export prices plus 18.6% Y, prior plus 17.4%.